Good morning, I'm Gary DeWaal, and this is Bridging the Week for July 31st to August 4th, and today is August 7th, 2017. One regulator formally began accepting comments to amend its requirements under the Volcker rule, but it cannot act alone. Unrelatedly, staff of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission recommended that one designated contract market improve its trade surveillance program. Among other things, the Commission's Division of Market Oversight criticized the exchange for not routinely monitoring for spoofing activity until after the period of the Division's review. In New York, we are now firmly ensconced in the dog days of August, where time drifts aimlessly because of the high heat and humidity. So I can break the cycle of endless seeming Sundays, concentrate, and get back to work. Let's get started. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency solicited comments on how the specific requirements it adopted to implement the so-called Volcker rule should be amended to better effectuate the purposes of the statute. The OCC is seeking comment on all aspects of its Volcker rule requirements, but it's specifically soliciting input on 4 topics. Whether its definition of banking entities is too broad and exposes smaller entities with minimal or no proprietary trading activities to significant regulatory burdens. Whether the definition of proprietary trading activities is too subjective because it requires a determination of intent in connection with each trade. Whether the definition of covered funds is too broad and should be modified to reference the characteristics of the fund, such as an investment strategy or fee structure, rather than the type of fund, such as like an investment company, and whether the requirement of banking entities to maintain a compliance program is too burdensome, especially for smaller entities that do not engage in a significant amount of proprietary trading or covered fund activities. The OCC will accept comments through 45 days from the date of the publication of its notice seeking comment on the Volcker rule in the Federal Register. The Division of Market Oversight of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission identified various weaknesses in the trade surveillance program of the North American Derivatives Exchange in a rule review by the Commission's Division of Market Oversight published last week. The Division's review covered from December 12, 2014 to December 11, 2015. Among other things, the Division noted that during the relevant time, Nadex only monitored for potential spoofing type activity on a quote-unquote infrequent ad hoc basis. According to the Division, Nadex defended its practice because, quote, it would be impracticable for any Nadex member to engage in spoofing, given that members enter trades manually on the exchange platform, end of quote. However, following the time period of the Division's review, Nadex began daily reviewing a manual report to detect possible spoofing activity and is now working on an automated report after conceding, apparently, that spoofing could occur on its facility. The Division recommended that Nadex should, quote-unquote, promptly complete the development of its surveillance program. In addition, the Division recommended that Nadex consider whether its compliance staffing and resources are adequate in light of its increasing volume, more fully investigate and document potential violations of its rules, and not solely suspend members' accounts upon detection of a potential trade practice violation, but conduct a full investigation. And finally, the state of Delaware enacted a new provision of law effective August 1st that authorizes corporations to maintain certain of their required records, including stock ledgers, on electronic networks or databases, including distributed electronic networks such as the blockchain. However, any records kept in such manner must be able to be converted to paper form, quote, within a reasonable time, end of quote. Moreover, in connection with stock ledgers, the electronic networks or databases must be able to be used to prepare a list of stockholders, record certain specified information, and record stock transfers as otherwise specified under Delaware law. In case you don't remember, a distributed ledger refers to a consensually shared and synchronized record shared simultaneously across disparate users on a computer network where entries are typically irreversible. This is actually pretty cool stuff. The enactment of this new law is potentially a breathtaking development, heralding the legal legitimization of distributed ledger technology and smart contracts. Let's see where this goes. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Bridging the Week. As always, there's more information in each article and more articles on the article version of Bridging the Week on the website. Check it out. I'm Gary DeWaal. Have a great week, and until the next edition of Bridging the Week, ciao.